Hey everyone. So I was doing an update on the new 64 Ultimate. Some folks had asked, and I had seen some curiosity about it working with physical devices. So I pulled up my 1541, my Datasette, and I also have some cartridges. I've got a old Epix Fast Load, and I've got FaceMaker and some of my games, so we can do some testing. I did go ahead and do a load of a typing tutor that I've got. I don't have a lot of stuff on cassette, but I have this typing tutor and word invaders. The word invaders, I got an error loading it the first time I tried loading it, but typing tutor appears to have loaded. I saved you guys the very long wait for it to load, but it went through and loaded fine. Here was I got the error on word invaders, so I just flipped the tape over, rewound it, and now I'm trying to run the typing tutor, which appears to have loaded fine. And this is all hooked up, to the C64 Ultimate the same way you would on a normal Commodore 64. Anyway, so the loading works from here. By default, the internal speaker will output audio. Someone in the comments on my last video mentioned that if you hold the Commodore key and hit restore, that it's a shortcut key for the menu, which is way better than trying to hit the up toggle on this. So Commodore restore. And if you go into audio setup and the speaker mixer, you can either disable it here if you don't want any of the simulated like drive noise and whatnot. But if you turn the tape read and the write off, then you won't hear when it's doing reading writes from the data set, because you wouldn't have heard that in the past. It would just feed in directly. So I turned those two off. I left the virtual drive noise on because I do actually like that. But here on drive A, I also disabled drive A. Earlier in my last video, Middle-earth Monsters, my favorite game, would not load, but by changing the drive type to 1571, it does work. So I was able to load it with 1571, but we're going to try to load it today off the original disk. So I've disabled drive A there. So I'm going to do a reset real quick. Let's reboot. And this is my original. Or not my original. I actually bought this after the fact because back in the day I had a copy of this from a friend because I was in a small town growing up. We didn't really have access to many game stores. The closest one was about an hour away. So it was really rare for us to be able to get over there to actually buy games. No excuses, but hey, that's what we did. So my first copy of this was total bootleg. And I think it was a copy of a copy because that's most of us back then. All we had really was a big container full of floppy disks that, with writing on them, like I'm sure a lot of folks did. But over the years, I've tried to go back and purchase some of the ones that were some favorites that meant a lot to me. So I've got Middle-earth Monsters and Archon 2 Adept, and Archon is in there as well, I think. No, I used to have Archon. I guess I don't have it anymore. But I got the Bard's Tale and Bard's Tale 2, and Adventure Construction Set. I loved all of those. Those were really great. And a lot of this is fueled by, what I can actually find for a reasonable price. I got Pool of Radiance, which I absolutely loved. I played the crap out of this. Elite was so fantastic. Impossible Mission, love that game. Never really understood it back then, but did really enjoy the game. And Questron, I bought it, but I never actually played this back in the day. It's just one. I think it came with some other software that I purchased. I know a lot of people do like it, and I love SSI. But it does work. I actually loaded it earlier. Oh no, it didn't work. It loaded, but then it paused at loading menu, and it wouldn't continue past that. So that was as far as it would load off of the physical disk drive. But I did test Metal Monsters earlier, and voila. Look at that. So, Metal Monsters loads fine off the original. We'll just do beginner. And there was quite a bit of disk swapping. So when you go into tournament mode, which is my favorite mode, that's where you kind of build up over time. You earn money by winning these arena fights. And then you can kind of build up your monster or your morph over time. But wrong port. Always the wrong port. Oh, somebody said you can hit Commodore, or maybe it was in the menu. Was it Commodore J? No, it gotta be in the menu. No. I know there's a way to swap the joystick in here. Joysticks and controllers. You can swap them here. There we go. And then this will take you to the arena, and you can fight in the arena. Great game. But anyway, that appears to be working well off of the 1541. So we've seen the Datasette work. We've seen the 1541 work. I also have some cartridges. We'll test those out. I think I'm going to end up leaving my 1541 hooked up. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right without it on the desk. So I was trying to save a little desk space, but I think I'm going to leave it hooked up. I really like it there. And it was harder to hook it up before with the Ultimate cartridge. Maybe you can chain the cartridge through the 1541. I actually never tried that, but I've got this little short cable for the cart that would just go straight in. So I guess I could have taken a cable out of here through the 1541 and back in. That might have worked fine. I just don't use it much. I do have a old laptop. I keep an old laptop that has a parallel port on it, because those are getting pretty rare these days, because I have this adapter that I can do a parallel port to the serial for a 1541, and I can hook it up and use, I think it's called Star Commander, if I remember right. It's like a Midnight Commander file manager where I could format discs and copy images onto them and things like that. That's what I did back before I got the 1541 Ultimate cart. So I don't know, I kind of still keep it around. I hate to get rid of some of that stuff. Oh yeah, this works like a champ. God, I love it. My guy's totally basic. I didn't buy any upgrades for him or anything, so I'm gonna get my butt kicked. What I'd always try to do is try to lure these guys into these defenders, and then try to use the defenders to kill them. Yeah, now you're running. Oh, what's on me? Ooh. One more hit and I got him. Oh. Anyway, I won't bore you guys with that. Fun game. If you ever get a chance, check out Metal Monsters. All right, let's see. What are we going to do next? Oh, cartridge. I've got to put the fast load cartridge in. I know there's no need to have it in there. It would be interesting, I guess, to see if it works with loading something off the 1541. Now, Miller Monsters actually has a fast loader built integrated, so I don't know if it'll work with that one. So we can try something else. Let's go ahead. Oh, look at that fast load. I seem to recall there was a shortcut with the fast load cartridge to load software, but I don't recall what it was. Shift L, Command L, something like that. All right, I've got 2 copies of the disk. I don't recall if there was any difference between them. No, I guess it's just looks like it's just 2 copies. C64. They're both C64. You notice a theme. Paul Reich. That developer. I like a lot of his games. Miller Monsters, Archon, Star Control 2 are all some of my favorite games. No, it wasn't that one. Must have been Shift L. Nah, that one. I don't recall what it was. I think it was Shift L though, because I remember the L symbol. Maybe it was just Shift L enter. Maybe that was it, and that would just load it. I'll try that in a second. There's the sound. I have noticed since I don't notice if it was doing this before, but there seems to be, you're not going to be able to see on the camera, but there's like a banding that's going up. It's not the wide banding, that's just the sync with the camera. But there's a banding that it almost has like it's a little thinner on this side and a little thicker on this side, and it's scrolling up the screen. I was not seeing that yesterday. Again, I don't know if I didn't notice it, or if it's since I hooked some of this equipment up, it started doing it. I'll try unhooking everything in a minute and see if it still does it. But yeah, I don't remember it doing that yesterday, and I can't imagine I wouldn't have noticed it because I can't not see it now. It's very, very visible. I also have a modem, but unfortunately, I don't have a phone line to hook up. But I do have a modem. I'll try it later. This might take a little more time to experiment with. But I've got this auto modem software and I've got a few more modems in my bin over there. But yeah, I've got a modem. And that plugs in, looks like the cartridge port, maybe the user port, but it looks like it plugs into the cartridge port. No, that's the user port. Okay, so that will not plug in here because we don't have access to the user port on it. So anyway, can't test with that anywho. So, but I mean, with it having, the C64 Ultimate has built-in networking functionality, so don't really need that anyway. But I have had trouble getting mine connected to my internal Wi-Fi for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on there, but maybe I'm just doing it wrong. But I connect to the SSID, I type in my password, I hit enter, and then it just does nothing. So I don't know. I'll read through the manual and see if I can figure out what's going on with that. It got kind of late last night. Man, we had to have patience back in the day. If you've never played Archon 2, highly recommend it. Amazing game. I personally like it a lot better than Archon 1 because you get to summon the creatures that you want, and you're fighting for these. You want to control all of the power points on a plane, plus these two here, or kill the all the enemy summoners. But anyway, fun game. It runs the last demo. I was just looking to see. I don't see the waviness while the game's running. It was only during the loading when there's a lot of when the screen's very light colored. Yeah, because I would still see it rolling through these bars and whatnot, but I don't see it now. That's really interesting. So I'm not sure exactly what's causing that. I can see it again here, so I see the bar kind of rolling through, but I don't see it in the game, so that's not too bad. But I am going to unhook everything real quick and let's see if that goes away, because that'll be interesting if that's the case. I did try turning the drive off earlier. That is a good test with, I mean, that's reading from a 1541, Datasette, Cartridge, all that seems to be working fine. I am able to load my mail order monsters from here now by using the 1571 drive. I think it would also work if I used, oh, I'm playing the wrong one. Of course I did. I think it would also work if I maybe changed out the 1541 ROM that's being used. Maybe either just a different 1541 ROM file, or maybe like going to Jiffy DOS or something like that might work. Because the image that I'm loading on here works fine on my 1541 Ultimate with an original, and it also works in all the emulators. It works on Mister. It works everywhere else I use it, so. Yeah, the banding's gone now. So it's either the serial being connected or it's the Datasette being connected. So I'll test that real fast and we'll see what we see. I'll try the Datasette first. I suspect that's probably what's doing it, but. Still looks clean, so it's not the Datasette. So let's try the serial. And maybe I just need maybe my serial cable isn't shielded enough and it's picking up some interference from down there. And the serial port is right next to the video port, so that would be, yep, it's back. Okay, so it's probably, yeah, the serial port could be running near some power, or just a bad serial port picking up some extra interference. I'll try a different cable and see if I can get that worked out. So yeah, definitely the serial port there. I'm curious. Yeah, as soon as I unplugged it, it's perfectly clear now. All right, that's interesting. Wonder if it does that on an original. '64. Let's see. definitely happy with the machine. Getting happier with it the longer I spend with it. So I'm going to just take the 1541 Ultimate out, and we'll just go. I did replace the power brick on my C64. I bought a new one. I don't trust the old power bricks anymore. I've heard a lot of kind of horror stories about people using the old original power bricks, so I did replace that. Yes, okay, so I have the banding here as well. So yeah, it's now, interestingly, I am noticing more flicker. Yeah, on this one than on the Ultimate, than on the C64 Ultimate. This one is squared up better. The Ultimate seems to be shifted right just a little bit. This one is like dead center in the monitor. But I'm noticing a little bit of waver. You know, this machine has never been recapped or anything, and I probably really need to do that. So I may end up doing that at some point. But cool. Anyway, that was it. If anyone has any questions about anything or wants me to try anything that you didn't see or that you see that I have access to, I'm happy to test it out. Otherwise, you know, I'll keep playing around, and as I notice interesting new things, I'll post it. Hope y'all have a great day.